Hello, this is Nicole Northgarden Stitches, and today's video is my floss tube update number 5. Here we go. Hello you all, I hope you're doing well. I am doing well here in Minnesota. I live just outside Minneapolis and it has been fabulously warm. If I had recorded this a week ago, I would have told you it was fabulously cold. Not fabulous, but ridiculously cold. Just like a lot of you, we had sub-zero temperatures. But this week, it was almost, I think it was 40 today, or almost 40, just underneath 40. So I do not mind. It's been very gray, but I'm not complaining because I was outside without a jacket. So that has been terrific. I have a lot of things to share with you today. If you see me looking down, it's because I have a list in front of me of all the things I want to say so that I don't forget anything. So I know a lot of floss tubers start their videos with their book of days. So I thought that would be cool to do. I kind of like that idea. So book of days, if you're not familiar, this is like a cross stitch journal, and it helps you to keep track of like what you're working on, what you start, what you finish, all that kind of good stuff. And some people use it as a planner. I don't like to do plannering. It's just not something that works for me. So I'm using it more as a record, like as a journal, as a record of what I've done. So you order this from, I think I ordered mine from 123 Stitch. There's a lot of places you can order it from. Just put in there like cross stitch book of days and you'll see it come up. I think it was like $10 or $12, maybe 13. I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, mine unfortunately got wet. I spilled water on it. So the spine is a little weak. I'm going to need to put some washi tape or like contact paper, the whole thing, or just put washi tape, which is what I will probably do. And then you also, I don't want to show the back, but you also get like a free little cute cross stitch pattern on the back. It says friendship. It's very cute. So I want to make sure I don't cover that with whatever solution I come up with to reinforce the spine. So the way I've been using mine is just to record things. And so I have like each day I've been recording the high temperature. You can see there it was 8 degrees, and then I'm recording what shows I'm watching, and then what I stitched in the morning, what I stitched in the evening if I stitched, and then like these special little things, and I can change what symbol I use each month. This is like not a full finish. This is one of my stitch finishes right here and also here. So I finished things, 2 different things, 2 days apart, and then these S's here are starts. So that's where I started something new. So, yeah, so that just helps me to remember what I've been working on. And so the things I think I've been working on the most, well, I have my 2 finishes, obviously. And then also I've been working each day on my temperature stitch, which is the one where you stitch the high. So the high temperature for the day determines the color that you stitch in. And there's like all different patterns you can get. Mine is just like a square, like a quilt square, but you can get gardens like with flowers. You can get, I've seen one with turtles. You can get all these different temperature stitches. And then at the end of the year, you have like basically a record of what the high temperatures were each day. It's just kind of cool. I thought it was a very cool concept. I didn't know about it until recently. So I went on Etsy and I think I just searched like temperature cross stitch and several came up. So if you wanted to look that up, you could. So yes, this week in particular, I have been working on, there's a little Valentine stitch I started. That's a new start that I'm going to share with you. And then I've worked a little on my nest and eggs. I've been most recently yesterday and today working on my Swedish mittens. So that's what I've been spending my time on. And then my 2 finishes, which I'll show you in a moment. You're going to be very proud of me. I'm proud of me. So that's my book of days, and that's how I'm using mine. If that gives you kind of an idea of what you could do with yours. And then the way people do is like they have a whole little collection on their shelf of like the book of days from all the different years, which is just kind of cute and charming if you like collecting like I do. And on to my organizing projects. So I mentioned the big thing I undertook was to organize my DMC Flosses. So there's 1,000,001 ways that you can organize DMC Flosses. The way that I decided to do it was to use one of these little shoe boxes. It's just a clear shoe box. This one's old. I think it used to hold my kids' sidewalk chalk. Yeah, so that's what this was originally for. I've held on to it because the drawing has like some cute little, sorry, the lid has cute drawings from when they were kids. But the way I'm organizing the flosses is in these little, these are just regular Ziploc. I think they're called snack size. So they're smaller than a sandwich bag. And they have these tabs on them, which you don't really need. You could use a generic brand. These are ones I happen to have in my closet. And so I am just using, and then they're regular, what is it, 3x5 index cards. And so what I'm doing is I'm just writing the color number on the card and putting the color in there. Now, of course, this one's out, which I will actually show you. So let me show you one that's in. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So these are all just full of the colors. And then you see the little number, and that's the skein. And, you know, so this way, if I wind up with it off the skein, then I know what color I'm dealing with. You can wrap them on bobbins. I don't really like to do that. It's kind of a pain. A bobbin is a little piece of cardboard like this, and you can wrap the thread around. I don't want to do that with my time, but you can do that. But this is how I've decided to handle it now. But the thing is, when I'm using a color, then it's just a blank card like this one. I'm like, well, where is 208? I don't know where 208 is. So I've made a change since I started doing this, because I actually did this probably about 2 weeks ago. And then recently, I just made a little update to my system. If I can find one to show you. Okay, so what I've started doing now, I just started doing that this week, is that I'm actually writing on the card the date that I took the color out of the bag, what project it's in. So that says Scandinavian Ornament Dollar Horse. So this way I know, so if I go looking for 700 in a year and I haven't finished the Dollar Horse, which I probably will finish that Dollar Horse, but if it's in a project that I haven't finished, then I know, okay, 700 is located in the project bag with my Dollar Horse. Let me go there and see how much I have left. Do I need to buy another skein? Can I split the skein that I have between the two projects, etc.? So it's almost like a little, you know, like a little library card catalog kind of system, so that I can keep better track of where all my colors are. And this way I'm buying less, wasting less money. That's the key, right? So that is how I decided to organize my DMC floss. And then I decided to also organize my patterns. So I just got a bunch of binders. I actually bought these on Amazon because I needed them for something else for my taxes. So I got 4 of them, but you can get them at thrift stores. You can get them at Walmart, Target, whatever. And then I did buy some page protectors from Amazon. I think I got some slightly upgraded, like slightly nicer ones, so that they would be thicker, because I wanted them to be able to kind of hold up, because I'll show you why. So then each pattern, each of the larger patterns, I can't really turn the pages because you'll see the patterns then. So each of the patterns then is in one of the sleeves. And then if I go to kit up, if I go to make a kit, so put in a project bag, like the pattern and the fabric and a hoop and the colors, then I just can take this out. And it's sturdy enough to kind of stay in my bag with me. Usually I will make a copy, because you're allowed to make a copy if you're just using it for yourself. I will make a copy of the pattern because I don't want to mess up my nice one. And then this will keep the nice one nice, because I was really trashing some of my patterns. I was like, oh, I'm not taking good care of these. And if I want to be able to pass them on, like, I'm not a pattern collector. It's just not my thing. So I want to be able to like pass them on through giveaways and stuff. And if I want to do that, I want to keep them nice. So that's why I've been I'm like, oh, I need to do a better job. So I can't flip through too much, but let me hold something up here, just so you can see. Then I also got these 5x7 pages, and the 5x7 pages hold 5x7 size patterns, 2 of them. So if I go to kit up these, I will probably put the pattern that I'm going to use into, like, you know, one of the larger sleeves, so that I'm not keeping a pattern, like 2 patterns in a packet, you know what I mean? So I'd probably slide it out of here and put it into an 8x10 page. But this is a good way to keep them, because I have a lot of smaller patterns too. They're not just 5x7. Like some of the Lizzie Kate's is a certain designer, and those are even smaller. So you can kind of see, these are the, so the 5x7s hold the smaller ones better too. So that is my pattern organizing, and I have them organized in here by season because most of the cross stitching that I do is seasonal. I did recently decide I'm going to do a sampler. I'm going to try a sampler. I've never done one. Well, I actually sort of did one. I'll show you that. But I'm going to try a historic sampler. So I will show you that next time because I just bought it off Etsy and I didn't have a chance to print it out or anything. So yeah, but most of the stitching that I do is seasonal. So I have like Christmas, and then I have winter, Valentine's Day, spring, and then summer, and then fall, and yeah. Oh, and then I think in the back I have a few. I have like my prairie schoolers that are kind of like through the year here. And then I also have, I don't want to show you. Hold on. Here I have some travel stitches because I like to pick up patterns when I travel places. So that was Cannon Beach, Oregon. So some like that aren't seasonal are in the back. But that is my pattern collection. I do not have a lot. And I only, as I was going through, I only kept what I fully intend to stitch. So if I don't intend to stitch it, it's in a pile. And I have about 20 that I've either stitched already and I was just holding on to, or ones I know I'm not going to stitch. And those are, I'm going to do those both, the ones I've stitched and the ones I know I'm not going to stitch, as giveaways through the year here. So, and I will get myself organized and hopefully do one of those in the next video that I do. Hopefully that's my plan. Okay, so that is my new organization system for my patterns. I'm quite happy with it. Okay, let's get on to my finishes. My first finish, you're going to be very proud of me, it was one of my goals, is Santa. And this Santa is going to be turned into a freestanding doll. I need a day to do like some sewing. I just haven't had time. And this Santa is from the Santa family in the Cross Stitch Christmas magazine from November 1999. So he's a goodie, an oldie but a goodie. And in the magazine, you can see the back of him is supposed to be cross stitch. I decided I'm just going to do the back as fabric. So I was super happy with him. And where's my other one? My other finish is Snow Joe. So Snow Joe, let me look at his. Snow Joe is from, okay, he was my January new new year. And he is from Heart and Hand. He was designed by Heart and Hand, just cross stitch from their Christmas magazine, the year 2000. So this was their ornaments edition. So I love him. If you remember, I had to restart him. So he was the second version because the first one I was doing 1/1 and it was just too tiny. And I'm going to finish him as a pillow. I have blue. It's like a lighter blue gingham fabric that I'm going to do a border around him. I'm going to finish it very similar to the way it was in the magazine. And then as a little pillow. So that's my plan for Snow Joe, and he will become part of my winter decor. So I was really happy with that. I've already met 2 of my goals because I really obviously wanted to finish him in 2024, and I wanted to finish Santa in January. At least I wanted to finish stitching Santa in January, and I did. So I'm really happy that I got those done. Okay. Then on to my works in progress. I'm going to show you nest and eggs. I've probably done the least on nest and eggs. Let me show you the picture of what it's going to look like. So this is what it's supposed to look like when it's done, and I just love it. It's going to hang in my bedroom. I have a spot for it. I have a frame for it. It's an antique frame. Super excited about it. And this is where I'm at. So I've made a decent amount of progress on it. It is stitched on, it was from Stash. I'm pretty sure it's a linen of some sort. I don't think it's an even, no, it's got little nubbies in the fabric. I think it's a linen. I don't know the count. It's small for me, but not for most people. I don't enjoy stitching this. I should have done it 1 thread over 1 it's 2 over 1. It makes it very tight and kind of hard to do the stitches, but I'm getting through it. And the more I get up here, it's getting easier. There's less confetti stitching. So if you're not familiar, confetti stitching is where you have like 1 stitch, 1 stitch, 1 stitch, 1 stitch, or a few stitches, and it's lots of different colors in a, you know, all over the place. So there's a lot of that, but I'm getting through it. And up here, there's less of that. So it's getting easier. So I hope to get this stitched and maybe in the frame by the end of February. That's my goal. I was thinking January. It's not going to happen. It's just not. But I think I can do it by the end of February. So that is nest and eggs. As I was working on nest and eggs, I was like, I really need to do a better job of organizing my kits, because like I've organized them. They just look terrible by the end. Like when you have all the you know, like this looked really cute when I started, but look at it now. It's like a rat's nest. It's really hard to keep things neat. So I decided I'm going in a different direction than a lot of people that you see on YouTube. So what I've decided to do, when I have over dyed flosses, it's going to look like this. So this is Swedish mittens. This is what I've been working on. I will now have the pattern in a nice sleeve, the thicker sleeve like I showed you. Can't show you the back of this. But then, you know, and I have my flosses like this. So those are still going to be like a rat's nest, because that's just how over dyeds kind of look. But they're on their little ring. They're attached to their pattern, and it just feels very organized. And then I'll show you on the next project how I'm organizing projects that have DMC floss. This is Swedish mittens, and I've made some good progress since last time. I have figured out why I don't like this fabric, why I don't like stitching on this project. It is because it is on a casual linen, and a casual linen is a very loose weave, and it's hard to count on, like, because I can't even explain it, but it's just because the weave is uneven and it just kind of loosey-goosey, like it's not very tightly woven, that it's just hard to like keep track of the holes. And I wind up in, or like it's hard to tell, like, is that 2 holes or 1, you know? Am I over 2 threads or 1? Because like sometimes the threads that you're going over are really thick and sometimes they're thin, and then because it's loose, it's just easy to lose track. So I figured out I don't like casual linen. I will not be getting a casual linen again. So this is a 28 casual linen. I forget the name of the color, but it's basically with little white dots on it. It's super cute, but I don't like stitching on it, and I won't be getting it again. But I'm making my way through. I started to do this border. Here is what this one will look like. This. And I am changing the colors. And there's a FLOSSTUBER I watch. I think she's called the Stitchy Mommy or the Stitching Mommy. And is she the one? No, it's not her. It's Lottie Da Stitching. I'm going to say all these names wrong. I should write it down. I think it's Lottie Da Stitching or Lotta Dee or something. She's a very nice woman, but she kind of like keeps a bunch of colors and then stitches, like picks a color as she goes. And I was like, that is brilliant, because I have felt like I don't really know the direction I want because I'm not doing all of these colors. I'm doing some of them, but I'm not doing all of them. And I haven't known, like, I don't know exactly what I want to do. And I'm like, wait, I don't have to decide yet. I'm just going to pick colors as I go, what feels good with how the project is looking in that moment. And then there's no pressure. So I've got the colors that I think I will probably use, but I can always pull from my stash if I'm like, oh, I actually want something that has a different shade to it or whatever. Yeah. So that is my Swedish mittens, and I've been doing a bunch of that recently because honestly, I want to just get through it because I really do like the pattern. I don't want it to be a project that I decide I'm not going to finish. I want to do it and get it done because it's not enjoyable, but I do like the pattern and I like the way it looks. I just don't like doing it, so I just want to get it done. I don't know when it'll get done. I'm not making a goal for that one, but I am going to try each month to put a bunch of stitches in on it and hopefully get it out maybe for next season, for next winter, next Christmas, I guess. The next project I'm working on is Mousy Sweetheart by Lou Who Stitches. This is actually a new start because I finished Santa, I finished Snow Joe, and I wanted to start a Valentine stitch. This I'm doing on the fabric that my daughter Hannah got me for Christmas. I think I showed you this pattern. So here's Mousy Sweetheart. It's super adorable. And so you can see, and I said I'm kitting up the projects that have DMC differently now, which I'll show you now. So this is the this is the pattern page. Like it'll go right back into my binder when I'm done with it. I made a copy of the pattern itself. That is behind here, which I'm not going to show you, but it's back here so I can look at it. But then all the flosses are in. These are called coin pages. At first I was going to use baseball card pages, but the floss actually kind of comes out of the top. So these are coin pages, and they actually have these little flaps here and little bands to hold the flaps down, and they hold the floss perfectly. So all I did was cut an index card. I have like a little paper trimmer that I use for my paper crafting, and I trim those at like 2 1/4 inches, slip that in. I wrote the color here, and then I can slip the DMC floss in there, and it just keeps everything from being a big rat's nest in the bottom of my project, bag, because it's pretty bad when you just have like a lump of DMC floss, which is what was happening. So yeah, so I'm really happy with the system, and I've implemented it in a few other projects you'll see in a moment. So I think this is just really great. Highly recommend my system here. I'm really enjoying it. It just makes you feel more organized. It makes you feel so much more organized. Okay, and so let me show you the actual progress. So here is Mousy Sweetheart. And it's white. The white is the B5200, I think, the DMC color. It is 3 strands. I actually did 3. I like that thick needleworky kind of look when I'm stitching on 14 count. This is 14 count Aida with 3 strands over 1 to make it like that nice and thick look, so that it looks more like needlepoint. And because the pink and the white isn't a huge contrast, I mean, in person you can see it better, but I am going to, I think, backstitch around him with the light gray just to give a little more contrast. There is a little backstitching on him in black. I may or may not do that. I might just turn it all to gray. This way it all kind of matches. So yeah, so that is the progress I've made on that. And I will be able to finish this probably in the next week, I would guess. It's going really fast. It's really easy to stitch on Aida, 14 count. And I really love the look of the three strands. So Mousy Sweetheart. My daughter Molly just got home with her friend. If you hear some noise in the background, that's what it is. My next 2 works in progress are the temperature stitch, which you've seen, and then I started Flea Market Flowers, so that's another new start. So I'll show you the temperature stitch first. I forgot to unzip it, sorry. And this is where I'm at. I'm a little behind. I think I'm like 2 days behind. Let me remember. This is the top. So I'm 2 days behind. And for the first time, I've decided to put a project in a Q-snap. That was something else I mentioned. I bought their fake Q-snaps, but they're from Amazon. It was a set of 3, and then plus I bought an extra. This size is 11 by 11, and the reason I did this is because I knew I was going to be stitching on this the entire year, and I didn't want it in a hoop that whole time because it gets really hard to get those hoop rings out. So I was like, you know what, a Q-snap will be a little better. But then I was like, well, I'm going to be touching it for the whole year. I need a grime guard. Well, if you look up grime guards on Etsy, you know, I know that work goes into them, and I know that they're worth what they're charging, but I can't possibly pay $30 for a grime guard to put on a cross stitch pad project. I can't afford that. So I went to the Dollar Tree and I just bought steering wheel covers, and they work great as grime guards. I wouldn't say it would go much bigger than this. This is 11 by 11. I think that's probably about as big as you could get this to stretch, but you can also use the steering wheel cover on a round hoop too, and on a smaller hoop. Works fine. So I tried it out on different ones just to see. So yeah, so that is temperature stitch with my grime guard in the new Q-snap. And I want to mention again, I said a lot of the haul that I got has being used. I will talk about the maker here, but this maker, this is so cute. That is my new needle minder. It's adorable. It's super strong, and it's by a maker called the Stitching Gnome, and I'll show you her packaging at the end of the video. But that is my new needle minder. I just think it's so cute. So that's my temperature stitch. And also to go along with that, obviously this is my other project bag. This is not going to fit in that. Because again, I mostly work on smalls. So these have always been great for me. But now that I have some bigger projects going, I needed a different solution. Well, again, I can't afford the fancy project bags. I just can't. It's not in my budget. So I found these on Amazon. These are intended for like artists to put artwork in and to be able to carry their artwork to shows. And so these are, I forget the measurement exactly. I think it's like 16 by 13, I think. And yeah, so it came in a pack of 2, and I believe they were $16 for 2 of them. I'm going to put some kind of cute tag on it so I can tell, because I have 2. So I have Temperature Stitch and I have Flea Market Flowers is in the other one. And so I thought I'd come up with a cute little way, like a little, one of my light bulb pins and like maybe a dangle and some kind of tag maybe from cardstock or something just to tell me what's in here. Yeah, so that's my plan. But for now, it's, you know, it's really important to keep your projects safe from dirt, because especially on something you're going to be working on for a year. And I can't show you the pattern, but here is floss. So there's all my lovely floss organized. Let's see if I can turn the pattern. There we go. Organized in my new system. So I have all the colors I might need for all of the different temperatures. The Minneapolis list that I made is here. And if I remember, I will insert a picture of what the temperature stitch that I chose looks like. I'll try to remember that. But yeah, I don't have a picture here. So anyway, that's temperature stitch. That's my dogs running around with my daughter upstairs. And then here is Flea Market Flowers. This is the other biggie that I started. So now I have 2 big projects going. The temperature stitch I know will get done. This one I have a goal. I would like to be able to stitch this by June so that I could put it out in the season. And I've kind of divvied it off like in blocks to, like, this is the first block, second block, third block, what I have to complete each month to be able to get it done by June. So that's a goal I have for myself. I don't know if it'll happen, maybe by July, if not June, but that's why I kind of bumped Nest and Eggs. I was like, oh, I want to be able to work on this and get it done by June so I can frame it and enjoy it while I can still enjoy it while it's still summertime. So that's what this is. And here's all my lovely organized flosses for Flea Market Flowers. And then I did, this is not the pattern. So I like I said, and this time I enlarged. This pattern is tiny, the nice one that I got. So I enlarged it on my print, you know, on my copy, my printer can make copies. And so I made the pattern bigger because it was hard to see. So that's what's in, and then each of the pattern pages is in like a little sleeve too. So that'll stay nice and won't get all dirty and messy and coffee stained as things tend to do in my care. So that is Flea Market Flowers. I just have a little start. I haven't done a lot on it. I was waiting. I just got the Q-snap for it. I had a hoop that really was not big enough at all. So now that I have the Q-snap, I can really get working on this. And then I did also use the grime guard. This is being stitched on 18 count Aida antique white. And I think antique white was recommended. They recommended like a Lugana, I think, but I went to the store to see what they recommended. I was like, I just don't think I'm going to enjoy stitching on. I just don't like small counts. Like, I don't like, I guess it's big counts, right? I don't like when it's like 28, 32, 36. I do some of it, but I just don't enjoy it as much, like the Nest and Eggs. I don't want to feel like cross stitch. I don't want it to feel like a chore. I want it to just be something I enjoy. If that means I stitch on Aida, then that's what I do. I stitch on Aida. So that's my start on Flea Market Flowers. Okay, the other work in progress is a very old work in progress. I'm actually going to put it on this board because it's not in a hoop. So, back at some point after I was married, I got married in 1997. Back at some point, I decided that I was going to design my own sampler to like memorialize our marriage. And so I did. Here is I can show you because I designed it. So this is, I did it on graph paper. I mean, this is old school style. This is back, you know, before I had a computer to do anything like this. And it's in pencil, so it's very light. So if it's hard to see, that's why. But so I designed a sampler for my hubby and I. and I have never finished it because I think my plan was originally to do an alphabet here, and I just couldn't decide what I wanted to do, or did I want to do a verse? I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on what I should do here? I'm just curious to get to hear what people have to say. Like, should I do a motif? I had on the back of there is like a horse. I'm like, did I think I was going to put horses on it? I don't really know. So anyway, my goal is to finish this sampler before I start my other sampler. So I told you I want to work on a historic sampler, but I'd like to finish this one and frame it first and hang it in our bedroom. I just think it's so funny because it's a little time capsule, because I would never choose these colors now, but this was back in probably 1998 when I did it, because we got married in 97. I probably did it in 98 or 99. And the jewel tones were like the big deal, you know? So it's like hunter green and gold and this deep red. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. It's colors I would not choose now, but it's here and it's pretty. I don't dislike it. But yeah, I would like to finish it off either with a verse or an alphabet. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna do a border. I'm just gonna finish this. Like literally, this is all that's left. So what do you think I should put there? Because it's blank on my pattern. It looks like I kind of ghosted in. It looks like maybe I was thinking like of writing something, but I can't even tell what that says. And then I think I was looking at maybe doing an alphabet, but I really can't tell either. So, so let's all join our creative juices together and figure out what should I put here. So if you have a verse you think, or a poem, it doesn't have to be a Bible verse. It could be, you know, a verse of a prose or a poem or some suggestion of what you think I should put there. Or should I put an alphabet and what kind and all that good stuff. So you let me know. I'm just curious how I should finish that off. So that is a plan. That is a plan that I want to design and finish stitching and frame that before I start my historic sampler. That's my plan. Okay, so, oh, and I do have one more new start. You know what? It's not even a new start. I kitted it up. I did not do anything on it yet. But I found in one of my old magazines, it is, I wrote it down, look at me, Better Homes and Gardens, Cross Stitch Christmas, November 1999. I don't know if you can see, it's a terrible picture of a picture, but it's a Scandinavian ornaments tree. I'm like, Scandinavian, like I live in Minnesota. Everything here is Swedish, Norwegian. Scandinavian culture is a huge thing here. And so it's all these little Scandinavian ornaments. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are perfect. And they have them hanging on this little rustic tree. I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I'll do all of them, but I'm definitely going to start at least with this one. It's called the Dollar Horse. And that's where the floss that I showed you, that's like filed away. This is the project where that floss is. So I'm going to start with this one. I haven't started it yet, but I did get it all kitted up. So here are my flosses ready to go, and I even have a hoop and fabric. It's just going to be on a little piece of Aida that I pulled from my stash. Yeah, and then you finish it as a round. Oh, this one's a heart, but I'm going to do mine as a round. Hearts are hard. I'm going to do mine as a round, and yeah, and so that'll be cute as an ornament, because I would like to do an ornament at least once a month-ish. I don't think I'll get one done this month, but we'll start in February. Unless I work really hard in the next 10 days here and get one done. Or what day is it? No, I don't even have 10 days. 20, I think I have like 5 days left of the month. So no, not going to get an ornament done, but I got it kitted. So I'm on my way. And then my haul, the rest of what you haven't seen, I bought, so you know I have some Prairie Schooler Santas from my mother-in-law. I bought one. While I was out, I happened to be at Stitchville getting some fabric for Flea Market Flowers, and I was like, I'm just gonna look, and it was on like the coldest day of the year. The wind chill I think was like -20, -25. It was really cold. I mean, the temperature wasn't that low, but the wind chill was so low. And this is called North Wind. He's got bunnies. If you know anything about me, you know I love bunnies. It's called North Wind. I was like, this is perfect. I'm gonna get this one. I think this one's 2020, kind of a good year to mark, but I got it mostly because I just liked the picture. And so then I bought the fabric for it, and it is, oh, it's covered. It covers the pattern, so that's good. It's called Putty Davos. I don't know what Davos means. Does anyone know what that means? But it looks like an even weave, which is good, and it's 18 count, which I don't mind. So yeah, so I'm happy with this fabric. I'm just doing everything exactly as called for. So I'm doing the called for colors. They're all kitted up. So there you go. So my first Prairie Schooler Santa is ready to go. I'm not ready to start him yet. not until I finish something that I have going. Not sure. But in the next month or two, I will start on those. And then I also got a kit, which is funny. I bought this off of eBay, and the lady sent it to me without the floss, but she assures me she's sending it to me. She said she was putting it in the mail today, because I wrote to her. I was like, I got the kit, and it has the fabric, and it has the pattern, but it doesn't have the floss, and that's like going to cost me another $6 or $7 to get all the colors. She's like, oh no, I have it here. I'm so sorry. So she's sending it. But anyway, I got the idea to stitch this from probably my favorite floss tuber to watch. It's Cat Crazy Creations. She's great. I just love, her name is Sonia. I love watching her channel. She's got a very soothing voice and a very soothing style, and I like the things she stitches. And so she's working on this currently, and I just loved it. I fell in love with it when I saw it, and I was like, I need to find that kit. So I found this kit on eBay, and I will eventually stitch this. Not yet. Sometime later in the year, hopefully. That's my plan. The other thing I bought are the needle minders, and so I just wanted to give a shout out to this Etsy shop. It's the Stitching Gnome, and I'm really happy with these needle minders. They're very strong, and I only ordered one, but she sends like a bonus, so I got this bonus one. That's this little bird. So cute. And not only that, it comes wrapped in tissue, and then this adorable little bag. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so cute. I can hold on to this and use it as a gift bag for someone. So I just thought that was adorable and definitely worthy of a shout out. So those are my needle minders from the Stitching Gnome. If you need needle minders, I really like these. I'm happy with them. They are stronger than the ones I've gotten at Hobby Lobby, because that was becoming a problem. They would fall off my projects, and then I'm paranoid that the dogs are going to find the magnets. So these are better. And the last thing I want to show you, you might have seen behind me here, I got these for finishing. So these are thrift store finds. So I thrift. I have a channel that's Nicole Northgarden Thrifter. And so I got these because I thought here in this one, I could finish a flat, like a square, and clip it here. And so I've been looking through, I think I have one in mind. I actually am going to stitch something in particular to go in here because I kind of like this. I don't want to paint, I could paint it, but I don't want to. So I think I'm going to stitch a spring stitch to go in here. I thought that'd be cute. And then I got this because I want to stitch something. It says, what is done in love is done well. I think I want to stitch like a cute old fashioned, like a rustic house or something, and like put our marriage date maybe as like established 1997 or something like that. And I'm not going to do anything to this. I love the flowers. I think it's really adorable. So I'm going to stitch something that matches, like, and I'm going to coordinate it with what's going on here already. And and then put this in my bedroom. So that is the plan for those. This was $2.99. This was $1.99. So always keep an eye out if you go to thrift stores for things that you can use to frame. Look at this price. This was originally $29 at some shop somewhere when someone bought it. It's those Primitives by Kathy. Like, I would never pay $29 for it, but $3 is a really good price. So anyway, that is my floss tube for this week. Yes, I hope you enjoyed seeing what I've been working on and how I'm organizing and the things I've bought. I hope you get a lot of time to stitch the things you want to stitch, or if you're just here to watch, hey, that's great too. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.